it's Guido coming at you with the Tactics Talk. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back. On this episode, we have nrnstraswa. I call him Strauss from AJ, the clan, SU-12244, Tier 7 Russian Premium TD. It's a casemate TD, and this is one of the better premium TDs in the game. Used to be quite, well, I guess I shouldn't throw out overpowered too much. I do that a little bit. But it was definitely at the top end of good, let's call it that. Even if we don't call it overpowered. It's been power creeped a little bit, so it's not nearly the terror that it used to be. But it carries around the 122 millimeter Russian boomstick and is actually fairly accurate with it on a pretty mobile chassis and some decent armor. Nothing you would really rely on, but can be quite trollish with its angle up front. So Strauss is going to go to this middle bush. This is a first look, so I haven't looked at this. So right away, Strauss, I'm going to tell you, I'm not really jazzed about this position right here. I think with this tank, I'd have moved all the way up to the bushes up ahead of you there, so you could look down and look for some sniper shots there. Unfortunately, the view range on this thing is not fantastic, and none of your teammates went up there. But I think I would have at least positioned there first. This position here is a kind of an interesting choice for me. Let's go ahead and look at what you're doing with your camera for a moment there. I thought you were just staring into space, but I had clicked away from your view. And this is what Strauss is doing then, clearly looking for one of these scouts to kind of show themselves. Couple problems with this. It's out in the open. If they do come up and over, you are really out there, especially if you get spotted. You do have a lot of tanks behind you to keep them honest as far as pushing over too much, but then there's the two artillery which will start raining on you. So this is a very kind of defensive position here, but let's see how this plays out. He's middle tier in a 357, so he doesn't want to go raging forward. He doesn't have a turret, so you just have to be careful. Where are better places for you to go? Potentially the 1-2 line, or up to, if you're going to be aggressive like I was talking about, up to the spot there along the bushes to your left. That's a nice shot using the bushes with the old double bush trick, or at least a little bit further back and attempting to not get spotted. You're able to take down a 1375. That's a good kill because that's a scout. Obviously those guys are going to have good view range, or better view range than most things, and they can be a problem once they start seeing you. Those guys are in the town, but I think you have a better shot maybe on the 01. Let's go ahead and pause it here and see if I can. And it's hard to do here. Let's see. Nope, they aren't around the corner, so they are still turtled up a little bit there in the town. Now this is a case where had you been, no, I just made everything go away. This is a case where had you been up here in these bushes where my cursor is, you would have probably had shots on those guys because their backs would have been to you. And this spot right up here, those bushes here, looks right down that lane. So when they come around and turn that way, you'd have been shooting them right in the back end. They're behind the buildings right now. You got a CDC there. Question, of course, is how many more of their tanks are up there. But we can start counting noses a little bit here. Starting with a Comet on the left side on the west. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with the artillery, and 3 dead. That's 13, leaving only 2 guys really potentially up there. Although where the 34-100 is right now, he could easily be up there now. Now we're going to get some shots. Holy cow, we're ammo rack right in the back of the turret. That'll leave a mark. Nicely done right there. Like I said, the actually is decent. Looks like you got spotted, obviously, on that shot, and the CDC puts one into you. And this is where it can become problematic because now you're kind of hanging out in the open here with no bushes. I think maybe if you'd have moved up, there's some bushes here you could have got into, or maybe back over to these bushes and look for shots on the right side of that rock. You're sort of just hanging out in the middle right here, so I'd be very careful about that. Your IS-3 is taking a pounding. So the thing to think about here then is, all right, you've got a couple shots, you're at 1100 damage, your team's doing okay, you're sort of hanging out in the middle, but that IS-3 is probably unsavable unless you'd have raged in there and helped them early, and even so, with only 578 hit points left, or whatever it is, got all my glasses on, it sucks getting old. With only that few hit points right there, they're going to gun you down. So now, what you need to start thinking about, all right, what's the next move? This is fine right here, but I'm probably not going to get any more shots. They're probably going to gun down this IS-3. Where should I go? Well, I'd probably fall back up to near the 3001 or on the ridge up there near the M44, the one to the west, and start waiting for them to win over here and push through. Now, let's see how that plays out. That's what I would have done. Maybe you're going to get another shot in here, but probably not. They're hanging out behind these buildings. Your IS-3 is doing yeoman's work in there. It's probably survived longer than anyone really expected. Your KV-2 even has a shot right there. Ooh, hold on. Was that possibly a shot? No. What's he? He must be behind something to you, but not to the KV-2. And I think maybe you'd have had a shot if you'd have stuck with that guy, because now he's moving around. So they're dead, or the IS-3 is dead. It's really time for you to get out of here, unless you're going to bush up and try to ambush one of them. If you do that, though, you're probably sacrificing yourself for the greater good. There you go. Now you're moving back. So now you're kind of seeing that develop. I would say you were maybe 30 seconds to 40 seconds late in seeing that whole situation happen. And had they been any kind of aggressive and come through, or one of their middle guys pushed up and over, you'd have been spotted out in the open right there. So we're going to fall back. I think that's the right decision right now. You're not in great shape. The Progetto is your only tier 8, it looks like. That's not true. There is a Scorpion. Where is he? Oh, he's camping in the back as well. So now we're going to get into this. This is pretty obvious bush right here. Make sure you zoom out when you do things like that to make sure you're not poking your tank out of the bush. Yeah, it's problematic right there. One of the problems with this tank, or one of its limitations, I guess you would want to call it, is its gun depression is not great. So on little rises like this, oftentimes you find yourself pushing out or even exposing yourself to get a shot. I would not sit like that when I could be spotted by something coming over the top. There's plenty of bush here, so to speak. I'd get in the edge of these, at least cover up from anybody getting very lucky with very long view range, or just YOLOing up the middle right here for some reason. You never know. The bush is there, you might as well use it. I think what you're probably trying to do is the double bush thing, and that's fine. You get somebody, you can move back and then shoot. But what you want to avoid is being spotted out in the open like this. Scorpion G is telling people they need a spot for him. That's one of my pet peeves about TDs. It's very irritating when they sit in the back and try to direct people to spot. Granted, yes, they do need somebody to spot if they're going to sit in the back like that. That can be effective. It's very irritating for people who camp like that to start directing others to go spot. Almost. Yeah, there you go. I'd get in that bush. You're right on the edge of him being able to see you right there on that white line. Depending on his view range and your camo and everything else. So I'd be thinking about that ISM and AMX. They're probably trying to work their way up here. There we go. This dude's going to show himself again. And, oh, maybe just a little bit rushed. Accuracy is a bit wonky at this range. He's probably... Oh, come on. Shoot right into that same spot. I hope that's what you're going to do. There we go. Got him spotted again. Maybe this time. There we go. Finally get him taken care of. At that range, then, the accuracy can be a little bit wonky. It's a standard 300 or 122 millimeter. Hits real hard, but at longer range is not that accurate. There we go. That's exactly what you should be doing. Now you're looking for these guys. There's another one shot. Down he goes. Well done. That just leaves the ISM. The ISM now, you're going to have to think about number 2 with that guy, depending on what aspect he gives you. See, there's the E25. He's found you. It would appear you do not have Sixth Sense, and now we're trying to get out of there. Looks like the CDC saw you when you shot, and now you've gone dark. There's that ISM. He's behind you. I'd have kept going up that hill. I certainly wouldn't have turned around right there. You have plenty of speed. I'd have get up on this hill, maybe get into this bush over here. I would not have turned around right in the middle. One of the problems with that is the E25 is sitting up in the middle just waiting for people to get spotted down here. In addition, the ISM coming up and over, he's got to come all the way up and over and give you his lower plate before you really have a chance in heck of going through. There you go. Get into that bush at least. Let's see how you handle this, because you're... Oh, he's going to give you some side armor, but it was not enough. It's still too much angle right there. Artillery splashes. Let's see if you can't... Nope, can't quite get in the side. Once again, not enough angle. Or he's giving you too much angle, however you want to look at it. Yeah, this is very problematic. Now the lower plate and just pray. There you go. So you were look up, so you're a little lower than he was. That's going to flat plate that lower plate just enough to make the RNG work out for you on the plus or minus. It looked like it was still orange right there. Somebody would have to do the math. It's probably not an auto pen. I would imagine it was a somewhat high pen roll, but nicely done. We're still shooting gold. Looks like we're going to switch to standard rounds after this. There we go. Maybe that was a standard round. Never mind. All kinds of shots going in there. Maybe he's tracked. Well done. He was, but it looked like he was just starting to move again. So that's a good skill for everyone watching. What he just did there is he shot. I don't know if he tracked him, but the arty certainly did. He noticed that, and as soon as he reloaded, he fired again. And it looked like either the E-25 burned a kit or he had a pretty quick repair crew, but he didn't quite move fast enough. So that is one of those skills you need to have when notice that tanks got pinned, or that they, not pinned, but they got tracked. Oh man, that guy can end your day. And you have 2 artillery. No 6th sense, so that is problematic for the 122. Su-122, 44, yeah, and that's exactly what was going to happen right there. So, as soon as I got seen by that Scorpion, you had to know you were. I'd have dove off this hill. There's only him and 2 artillery. There's no sense letting them shoot you while you're stationary. I'd have just dove forward and left, or maybe even gone forward and right, but I would have been moving, or at least even backwards. Just do something other than kind of rock back and forth right here. And that hurt your chances of surviving one of his shots right there. You were a fairly, I would say, 50-50 one shot, and now you're a little bit better than 50% one shot. He has to low pretty low before he doesn't kill you. Oh, looks like you've been seen. You've been made. What's going to happen here? I don't actually remember, folks, whether he wins this or not, to be quite honest. It's not looking great for the home team because what they can do from here is just splash. The second he comes around that corner, there we go, there's some more hit points. So you're definitely not surviving a shot at this point. And those M44s are just going to continue to take you down. So your chance to kind of rush in there and kill that guy has passed. It kind of goes down to letting that one artillery get a shot on you without trying to jink and jive and move, just sitting in one place. If you could have avoided that, you might have been able to push in there. See, they've just got you dialed in, and on that one, he's watching you knock down those fences. Yep. So they're just going to keep blasting. They know exactly where you are, and you're going to come around the corner here and see if you can get this, get this Scorpion. Surprised he hasn't shot you right there. I bet you were spotted though. Fortunately, like I said, you don't have 6th sense. So here comes the next M44 round. Unless he actually tucked up under that building, he may have. So this is interesting now, depending on where he comes out and looks for you. Potential lies here in you being able to see him and shoot him before he comes around the corner. Now we're just kind of backing into the corner. There we go. Here he comes. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you guys what he's doing with his camera. Apologize for that. Looks like he took a shot, but he didn't quite get to him. So now we tuck up again. This is pretty intense right here. Is our hero going? Oh, another artillery shot goes in. And now he's just going to go for it. That was probably not the best move right there. I think I would have just picked one side, tried to get set up for a little peek. Next time he peeked or poked, take him out and hope that you can kind of get forward and get out of the way. That artillery was his and almost hit his own guy. Oh, is this the long, sad whittling away? I think it really is. Scorpion is just sitting there waiting. Artillery. Oh, his own guy. Good job, artillery. I mean, can we get... I don't know, man. Maybe you tuck up there and hope to get lucky enough that their artillery splashes him or actually kills him. That would be pretty funny. This is kind of what I was thinking earlier that you wanted to do, but further away when you weren't spotted. All right, man. So lots of good things in there. You got 2,100. 6 kills. So did some good things. I think there's a couple times where you were late on your decision making and kind of misplayed that end game right there. It was going to be tough to win that anyway, but you have to think a couple moves down the road and consider what the enemy has. And sometimes you just have to take a chance because if you looked at it, you had the hit points to maybe survive one of his shots. So while it sounds dopey, hey, just charge the Scorpion who might be able to one-shot you, that was really the only chance you had, unless you could have actually got away, and I don't think you could have right there because he saw you, and had you immediately turned and run, he'd have just chased you down and shot you in the back. So you didn't have a lot of great options. You might have been able to disappear down this ridge along the edge and work your way back this way and maybe kind of surprise him on which way you went, but the only way that works is you go dark before he sees you kind of making that move. So that would have required you to dive off, kind of spin around a little bit, and then maybe work your way around that way. very difficult against a tank or TD with a turret with what you're fighting right there. So at the end game, that took a little bit of bold action, I think, for you to win, not that very careful gameplay, which was just a long cold slog to dying with 2 M44s, which are frankly absolutely ridiculous artillery. Completely overpowered at tier 6 for sure. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's my replay analysis first look for Strauss. Thanks for sending that in, man. I do appreciate it. For everybody else, thanks for tuning in, and we will see you.